What's up, guys? Welcome to Rice and Beans. Big-O and Jester in the house, and we've got a special guest with us today. What's up, MTB?
So what's up?
How are you doing, man? It's been a long time since we've seen you.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been
Looking good, man. Looking good.
So what you been up to?
Oh man, back in school, trying to finish up, get this bachelor's by December, and been working again with Chronicles of One. That's gonna be something new we're gonna do, hopefully.
Sweet.
And I hope to do a couple singles next year.
Oh, nice. Where are you getting beats now? Or I heard you branched out into a little bit of production now.
Yeah, I produced this song called "They On Some Other Shit," which I did about 2 years ago, and I've produced a few songs since then. But I've been going to producers still too. Shadowville Productions, shout out to them. Also, BeatStars.com. There's been a few producers I've worked with there as well. So I've been all over the place with production.
Nice. And hey, what's good for the listeners is that we do have a little bit of that music to share with them. So we're gonna go ahead and give them a quick taste of what's coming. So let's see. This one was the Black Flag one. So you guys were going to do a Rice and Beans radio, so you'll be checking in for those. Those will stay up on YouTube as usual. And MTB is going to sit in with us, so we'll get to hear his song in full. But for right now, let's go ahead and get into a snippet of Black Flag.
Yeah.
I got the black bag, and it's full of money. Got these black shades for when it's sunny. Got 2 houses, they stay here. I seen girls kiss on what I'm saying. I got a black bag, it's full of money. Got these black shades for when it's sunny. Got 2 houses, they stay here. I seen girls kiss on what I'm saying. I got these black cars.
Damn.
Yeah, boy.
Dude. That was
to
good,
TD,
man. Holy shit.
Yeah,
nice, man. Was that one of the ones that you did the production on the tracks on?
I didn't produce that one. That was produced by Too Deep for Shadowville.
Mm-hmm.
He came through with a banger. I just had to write something to it. I was like, this is beautiful.
Oh man, I love the way that flow went with the beat. Holy shit! It just it fell immediately right into that groove as soon as the verse part dropped, and just as the way the vocals just dropped right into the groove, without missing a beat, dude. That was sick. That was spot on, man.
Yeah, and I think my engineer had a lot to do with that too. Shout out to Dave. He retired or whatever, but he had been engineering for 20 years. I've been working with him since 2006, and I just told him, do whatever it is you think sounds best, because you've been in this business longer than me. You know what sounds good, and I think that helped out a lot.
That's a cruising beat right there.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, definitely. It is.
Yeah.
When you're all high and driving 2 miles an hour and just fucking bumping that shit.
Hell yeah. Ladies be throwing their panties at your car.
And if that's not a reason for making music, I don't know what the fuck is.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason right there.
Damn.
Oh man, so are you working on any albums or EPs or?
No, the last album I put out was Prince of the Universe.
That shit was dope. I picked that up.
It was long. It was good 2 discs, but I want to do some singles next year. Early part of next year, like spring. I want to have at least 2 singles on top of Chronicles of One.
Hear that, ladies? He wants some singles out there.
I don't know when the next album's coming out. I can't even tell you. Maybe another year or 2.
We're looking forward to it regardless.
Yeah, I am. I'm too. I'm looking forward to just getting that whole production and that whole writing thing together again and seeing where we can go this time. Because when I start the project, I never know how it's going to end up sounding. I'm getting into it, and it's experimental sometimes, and sometimes it's like, oh, I already know where I want to go with this. Sometimes I'm singing on the tracks, you know what I mean? So I'm interested to see what this next one's going to sound like myself.
Where's your flow come from? Does it come from the beat that you're listening to, or is it just something that's embedded in you that's going along with the track that's being played, or something that's in your head already?
Usually I listen to the beat first, and I come up with my flow based on the beat or how it sounds. Like if it's a soft sounding song, I usually think about something I can sing to or something like that. But if it's a harder song, then I'm thinking about rap. And then if it's a rock song, I kind of want to mix those elements together. So you'll have like a rap with like a melody to it.
Which we heard on the Rice and Beans radio earlier this year when we started off in season 5 is really, really dope.
Oh yeah, I played Not the Same, the band version.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, we did that, man, back in 2009, 2010.
Yeah, I think that's the song that Not the Same was how I met you, because I worked with D, and so then when you guys came in to drop Not the Same, and I think that's when I met you, and so like out of all the ones that I worked on with you guys, like the production side of the house, that one was always like my hands down my favorite. Just that saxophone that's in it, that main melody. I was like, dude, that shit is fucking hard.
I remember shooting a video. That was my first time shooting a video.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was fun. Yeah.
And then so Big-O, when we're shooting a music video, I jumped on one of the tracks with them. This one called Athlete. Right, and so then that's the one where Neo was they're looking for their dinner. So these Asian people roll up, and we're like, this is like D is in South Central, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so like it's deep in like he's deep in the hood, and these like Asian people roll in, and they're like, stick a dog out the window, a small one. They're like, have you seen a dog like this one? And then one of the guys in the house band, Neo, the DJ, he's like, he's Asian, and he goes, oh, check it out, they're looking for their dinner. Like everybody fucking lost their shit. It was so fucking funny. And then that was like right after that, that's when I had to shoot like my part of the song. I'm like, oh, this motherfucker, I'm over here trying to like supposed to be looking hard, and like all I could think of, he's looking for his dinner.
Yeah, those were good times, man.
Hell
looking
yeah,
hard
man.
for another dog so you can eat.
Yeah, it was fun. Like I think we did a couple of music videos together, and I remember like one of the things too that stood out was that nasty ass boxcar that we fucking jumped into
Boyle Heights.
Yeah, to street shit. So there's like the rail yards, right? And so it's a good location, a good camera angle spot to, get up in there. So fucking hopped up in there, and oh man, it was fucking gross. Like there was like a huge pile of shit in one of the corners, and somebody just kind of casually threw a t-shirt over, and I'm like trying to fucking lip sync the fucking like part of my verse, and like trying to like fucking choke back puke at the same time, and I'm like, I just got this funny face in the video. Your verse was the fucking best one, because like the backdrop for you, and then you like fucking pointed at the fucking graffiti on the wall that said "fuck all y'all."
Did you see a sign in the corner saying "Thanks for the F Shack, love Dirty Mike and the boys"?
That's all that was missing. The fucking soup kitchen.
Oh shit!
Jeez. Yeah, it was rough, but I mean, there was a lot of fucking like memorable shit. It was like, what's some of the like out of your music career? I know you've been doing this for a long time. What's something that like kind of stands out to you? Something that like you think of your music career and automatically like that just kind of like pops to mind.
Mama Said was a song I did, and we were going to record it, and I found another engineer in Compton. And I had never worked with him before, and I had 3 verses. So I was like, well, let me record this and see how it sounds. And when I went in there and recorded it, he said something in the background that later it came out. He's like, well, you got your own shit now. And I was really boosted about that. For some reason, I was like, oh, yeah, I got my own shit now. I could just do this rap stuff by myself. And that's what pushed me to go solo. But that was probably the most memorable song, because we were going to do it all together, and then me and D fell out back then. For like whatever reason, I can only remember now. And I ended up recording it by myself, and then I started recording more with him because he was cheap. He was like $20 a song. I could record it and he'd mix it together and everything. and I haven't been able to find a better deal. And if I were to record again, I would actually have to go back to him because my guy Dave in Van Nuys retired, so I don't even have an engineer right now. Except for you, Andy. I mean, I don't even have anybody, so I would have to go back to Compton.
Hey, well, I mean, I don't have all this music equipment for nothing, so we're gonna get together and drop some new shit. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Bless these people with some good tracks for some Rice and Beans Radio.
Drop some Cleveland Steamers.
Hey, speaking of some tracks, he brought in another one, and don't worry, I'm not gonna do the fucking Paul Rudd with the fucking Conan O'Brien where I just play the clip of Mac and me where he's fucking coming down the fucking hill. Ooh. I'm waiting for a guest to do that one of these days. Yeah, I brought you a clip of some new shit, and it's just that fucking. So the next one is they on some other shit, right?
Yeah, they on some other shit.
And so before I play the clip, we got a little bit of this in the pregame, but tell them about where this one came from because after hearing the story and yeah,
I was dating this girl and we had been talking for a while. It was long distance, so those never work out. And I'm not going to say her name or anything like that, but we were having a falling out. And so I wanted to put everything I was feeling at that time into the song. So it starts off with, now I'm hearing all these rumors how the homies used to do you, but I found you in the sewer. You was saying screw you. And I just kind of kept going with that until and I put it on a beat that I had made, and that's what came out.
So you said, bitch.
Yeah. Now that's what she's saying about me.
You said that? Yeah. I said that.
All right, guys. So we talked about it. So we're gonna give you a little taste of what this one has. And if you want to hear the full thing, tune into Rice and Beans Radio later on, and definitely check his.
Now I'm hearing all these rumors about how the homies used to do it, but we found her in the sewer, and you were saying screw her like you never knew her, so I continued to pursue her. Side chicks, man, they became fewer. I was being true, you were being you. Now I grew the figures that you can't do. So how you figure that I needed you, boo? I've on these thanks, so I never needed you. They on that other shit like I'm a big brother is, so I got another.
Woo! And yeah, we're gonna be posting all his links to the socials where you could hear all this music, and we'll go ahead and throw them up on the website too. And whoa, man, I like that. I like that beat.
That shit's tight.
That was hard.
I really liked it. My friends at first weren't feeling it, but a lot of them came back and were like, "Yeah, man, I like the way you kind of ripped that."
I don't know why that shit was good.
I mean, I liked it. That's why I was like, I'm going with this one. I was like, this is one of my favorite ones.
For sure. Like I like the drums on that one. I just like the way they kicked in hard. I'm just like, oh, like I'm just like I don't know if it's like just because I play the drums. Like I got like a fucking like I gravitate more towards like how's the drum line sound and like getting that shit tight. But yeah, man, all around, just that was good.
I mean, I've used different types of programs. Like, I started off with Fruity Loops and Acid, and then I think I used Music Match to make that, which is part of Sony, which came from an Acid program that I had. So they just had a good, a good beat kit, and I just kind of played around with it until I think it took me like 15 minutes to make the song, to make the beat, and then it took me another about 30 minutes to an hour to write the verses. The verses were shorter. It's only like I think 8 lines. It's not 16 bars. It's 8 bars on each verse. No, I think it's 16 bars total on the whole song. So there's only 2 verses, and they're both shortened. So I didn't really write a whole full song. I just wanted people to have like an idea of what I was going through.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even need to do like a long song. Like I've heard really killer songs that were like 2 minutes long and that's it. But they hit big and like it was get the point across and then leave them wanting more is what like I kind of walked away with those songs. And like I think this is like to me it feels like one of those where it's like it's quick, but it's just like, damn, now I want to hear more of that shit. Like, total fucking show opener and stuff.
Yeah, that's minimalistic, but it's got a beat, man. It's got a beat of the 90s, and that shit's tight.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, if they're gonna bring everything back, everything else back from the '90s, fucking may as well bring the music back when that shit was good,
Back when MTV had fucking videos.
right?
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Fuck
God
yeah, I
damn it.
remember TRL and
Oh, yeah.
fucking
106 in Park.
yeah, the OMTV raps way back in the
OMTV,
day.
wow.
Fuck yeah.
Headbangers Ball and
Before Puck fucked it all up with the real world.
Real World. I remember about that other one, Road Rules.
yeah.
God.
It's like when they first started out, even Beavis and fucking Butthead had music videos
Yeah.
on the fucking show,
God dang. And I remember when Beavis and Butthead weren't even on MTV.
right?
I didn't
God.
know that. I thought they were always on MTV.
No. They came out and they were doing like venues out on theaters. You know, I remember back in '91, before they were on MTV, they had Spike and Mike's Twisted Animation Festival, and they were showing clips from there. And so we'd go down to Tempe over by ASU and go into the theaters and watch it there. It was a trip.
Wow. Yeah, I remember when the movie came out. I was in high school. They do America.
Yeah.
And that's when they took them off MTV after that.
Yep.
Off in whose trailer they were whacking. So no, it was just yeah, like I don't know what happened. Like all of a sudden the music went away and the videos went away, and then it was just like, how much reality crap can we fucking pack into like a fucking 16-hour session, and we'll play a little bit of music.
I mean, they have the MTV1, MTV2, MTV3, so you can watch classic videos, but it's hard to find a block where they're playing new music videos. I usually have to go to Revolt TV or some other station or just YouTube. That's really where I find most of my new music is YouTube.
Right. I was out in Israel one time, and they had MTV2, I think it was, out there. But they were playing a lot of videos from new artists, so I got to see a lot of the new stuff. But I hadn't seen that in years.
Yeah, they brought back TRL a couple years ago, but
Yeah.
it didn't stick around that long.
No, because it doesn't make any sense anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's in a 5-minute spin, or actually, no, 5-second spin on fucking Facebook and, you know, Instagram and whatnot, and then they're turn and burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'd be kind of hard pressed now, right, to bring a lot of that stuff back, just because it's so like easily accessible over the net. Like you got Spotify, you got satellite radios, you got YouTube. So I mean, I think now it makes sense for them to transition now to like TV shows, but like before they started doing it well before they needed to, and I think that's kind of what turned a lot of people off. Was like, what the fuck? This is all TV shows now. It's not even music anymore.
Well, I think MTV or Viacom, they have a lot of good reality shows, but they just keep playing the same thing on the Viacom, on the MTV one, which is ridiculousness. Like that goes on all day, throughout the whole day, and it's like all you see. They still have that Catfish, which is a decent reality show. That one where they tattoo people and you don't know what they're tattooing until they finish.
Yeah.
That was, entertaining.
yeah.
Mystery tattoo or
The
whatever.
Mystery Tattoo. They have Teen Mom, which was back when I was in high school. They had Teen Mom. So they have a lot of different reality shows. And, we mentioned Real World and Road Rules. I mean, it'd be nice if they brought that back, at least, for like one season or something like that.
So let's keep this in mind. Back in the 90s and whatnot, they were doing music videos. They'd been doing it for 10, 15 years at the time. And then as they did the transition, started doing the Real World and all that other stuff, they pushed it and progressed it, and they just mouth fed us for another 7 years. But in that time, the internet started taking off and started doing different things. You had AOL, you had Google starting up, and you had fucking YouTube on its first tour, going into certain things in the late 90s, early 2000s. And that's when the new children of the time were starting to fade away from a full venue and started looking at small clips and snippets, started seeing people like PewDiePie and fucking all these other guys doing stupid shit for small minutes of entertainment, and their little brains that only took 2 minutes of information and then fluttered off into something else. And now we're in a fucking turn spin with Instagram and TikTok, 5-second things, 2-minute things, very minimalistic. So, any of that stuff that MTV had at one point is gone. They're only going to get a small amount of, people watching it because those people grew up on it, and children are not going to go into that venue because it just takes too much time to watch it now.
Yeah.
They'd rather it's dumb because they'd rather watch somebody like some dumbass lick some dumb shit off the floor or lick a toilet seat or
look, Ariana Grande licked the fucking donut. Yeah, you know what?
I always thought it'd be cool if they had like a celebrity road rules. They got like all these different celebrities, rock stars together and rappers, put them on a bus and send them all on tour, and we got to see them go on tour with all these other groups, celebrities. We see the groupies, we see the roadies and all that. That'd be really cool, like behind the scenes of a tour.
I would rather see celebrity prison tours. Yeah, let's see how hard you are now.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Start with Martha Stewart.
Oh no, she's hard. She goes into prison, she's gonna fucking take the tallest motherfucker and take him down. She got Snoop Dogg.
Snoop never went to prison. That's what he always says.
But he's got a lot of people behind bars that got his back. So
yeah, oh, yeah.
I like their billboard that had the lighter, the big lighter with the fucking the extender that you could like push up and you could use for candles. So it on her side of the billboard, it's like you can use the extender for candles, and then fucking his on the other side with the fucking thing or everything else.
And he was not lighting up a fireplace.
I thought that shit was dope. So I think we found like basically the limits of what people are willing to like put up with as far as their music, and their music TV, and so we got that kind of sparked a couple of ideas during like the planning sessions for the different episodes. So you're a musician, you're well traveled, you've been around, you've seen some shit. And so, in talking about limits, we were thinking of like, because we saw some stuff like just because I referenced the stupid kids watching each other lick stupid shit on fucking TikTok, and I'm like, I stopped to wonder like after I saw the toilet seat shit after the Rona like started, and that fucking that clout chaser that fucking was supposedly licking an airline toilet seat, and like fucking posted it all over, and like. At that point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? What's the limit? Like, what are they? What's gonna be off limits for them as far as like licking shit now? So, I don't know. Is like, okay, so we talked about the toilet seat, right? So what other things jump to mind when you're like thinking of all those dumbass kids licking like different shit?
Literal shit. Like this one girl I dated. I thought I was gonna try something new. I was like, I'm gonna try to toss your salad or whatever. We're gonna try to do this here. And so she said, okay, let me go to the bathroom. So I'm like, all right, she's getting clean, she's cleaning up, getting fresh, so we can try this new thing out. And I hear the toilet flush. I'm like, maybe she just had to pee, serious. And we get back, and I'm ready to go, and I open it up, and I'm like, oh, I see little toilet paper-ish tissue around the butt, and I'm like, okay, I can't do this, That's something I can't lick, it was just too fresh, it wasn't fresh, it was just a little too fresh.
Wait a minute, not even with orange marmalade?
Maybe if it covered the taste or something, I don't know. It freaked me out. I saw it, and I saw a little toilet tissue, and I was like, oh no, I know where this is going.
This is Butterworth to the rescue.
He's like open it up. Hey, the fucking donut's already glazed. Yeah. What the fuck?
I'm expecting it to be clean, waxed and everything.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't.
Get back in there and wash your butthole.
Yeah, that's what I needed to say.
Looks like you got a little friend poking out. Say hi to me.
Yeah.
Like that video we were talking about from back in the day earlier, the champagne fucking shooting out, and he's like fucking drinking, and then the fucking like turd starts coming out.
It's not that I had to see it, it's that I had to see it.
Like the fucking 2 girls 1 cup video. I was like, oh.
Is that ice cream? Is that it? It's got to be ice cream.
Yeah, that's wrong. I'm like, blah. I'm like, okay, yeah. For me, I think that's. I'll go ahead and say that. Yeah, shit's where I draw the line. I'm like,
There's always a happy accident. Sometimes you gotta work around it and just suck it up and be a man.
Yeah.
There was trench warfare in World War I. There was fucking, what's it called? Guerrilla warfare, Vietnam War. Sometimes you just gotta bite the bullet and go on in.
Yeah. I was done biting bullets at that point. I was like, give enough bullets.
Give this man a silver star.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be different if I had to take one for the team or something. Like my friends needed me to come through. This was just me trying something new, and it was too new for me. I was like, it was a little too new.
Nothing wrong with that.
the same kind of thing. Like this chick that I fucking hooked up with a couple times back in the day at college. She wanted to try like the feet thing, like sucking on the toes. I'm like, all right, whatever, I don't care. And so, but then like I didn't take into account that we have been like walking around all day. And then I'm like, I guess I assumed she was wearing socks.
Oh,
She wasn't. And so then she fucking takes her fucking feet out, and like as it comes out of the shoe, I'm like, bro, that's rough. Put it back on. I'm like, oh fuck. I'm like, yeah, we're not trying that shit today. I'm like, you want to go fucking wash them off? I'm like, that's a different story, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, you're fucking.
Man, you should have been like one of the Wayans brothers and Don't Be a Menace at South Central. Got out the Tabasco sauce and went on that fucking corn. Nom, 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 nom.
At that point, it's just like, salty. But yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, I guess we just found my limit. And she's like, well, how do you even know they would have tasted bad? I'm like, your foot wasn't even all the way out of the shoe. And I was like, bro, that's rough. Put it back in, bro. And like, because at that point, I was like, I could really care less what I'm calling you. Like, I really wanted to call you a fucking asshole, but I felt that might kill the mood, more so than your fucking feet.
Oh, jeez, man.
What about you, Big-O? Where are you drawing the line?
Is there a line? I mean, I see the sand, I see the ocean. It's all good to me. We only go around this world once, man. You just gotta suck it up and do what you gotta do. We're all humans. We all do it. We all poop. We all pee. If you got the action, don't turn it away.
Yeah. I think when you get older and you have less and less action, you're willing to do more and more things.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Although that is kind of true because I'm getting older and older. But still, you know what? Even when I was at a younger age, I didn't turn it away.
I think life is beautiful when you get to that certain age where it's like, fuck it. These people don't know me.
You know what? Growing up in high school, I was always concerned about people fucking, having their playbill against me, and their wants and desires and how they hated me or it was all in my head. I didn't give a fuck. But when I graduated from high school, as soon as I came out to Arizona for school, it just went out the door. I didn't care if you liked me. I didn't care if you hated me. Whatever the case is, fuck you. If you like me, we'll get along. If you don't like me, you know what? There's a door. Get the fuck out of my apartment.
And you know what did that for me was a lot like the comedy that I was into and the jokes that I would tell and like just I guess the overall sense of humor, right? And because you had these people that like they understood the highbrow humor, like they fucking got the jokes and that were not like the stupid dick and fart jokes, and like they appreciated them. But then a lot of people that didn't get them, I felt like just kind of what caused the rift or whatever is like it was over their head and like they just weren't getting it, and I guess they had their limit on like what was funny and what was not funny. And for me, like I don't know, that limit was like way in the fuck out there. And so like I was joking about all kinds of different shit, and like people were just like, holy fuck. And I think for me that was one of the things where like if somebody goes, oh fuck, to one of the jokes that I tell, and I'm like, I like that better than laughter.
A man walks in with a pig around his arm. He says, "This is the bitch I've been fucking." The wife says to the man, "That's a fucking pig. Why are you talking to the pig?" "I'm not talking to the pig. I'm saying the pig. Look at this fucking bitch I've been fucking." Gilbert Gottfried was a god back then.
I like him. Yeah, I mean, he did the voice of Iago, right?
Yeah, he did. He did the voice for Aflac, too, the duck.
Until he made that tweet about the tsunami. But I like when he was on the roast of Roseanne, Big-O and I just watched it earlier, and he was like, but if one did tweet about tsunamis, perhaps he's learned his lesson and should get his endorsement deals back.
Called them Moonamis instead of tsunamis.
Well, what about you guys? Where do you, comedy wise, jokes wise, like where do you feel like what is your limit? Like what is like that line where it's just like, okay, that's a bit much now?
I mean, I'm open to almost all comedy. I think right now, what's in the news is Bill Cosby. They canceled his comedy tour because he has this sexual assault lawsuit still pending.
Yep.
And so I think that's probably where most people would cut the line, is like, you know, you've been accused of something very serious and it's hard to make light of it because it's so serious. So I guess that's the line that's being drawn. I think he could have possibly come out and said something about all this on the comedy stage and, you know, made it at least less sensitive. But I do think that there are some lines in comedy because of this whole Bill Cosby situation. But other than that, I would say you can say whatever you want on stage. Comedy is about, there's a thin line between tragedy and comedy. And you have to kind of make light of the tragedy sometimes in order to get that laugh. But if that tragedy is like some weirdo shit, like, you know, sexual assault or pedophilia or something like that, then that's probably where I'd say most people would draw the line.
Yeah, I think the tragedy thing. I had one of the jokes that I told on one of the past shows was, what's the difference just because it's tomorrow? What's the difference between a cow and 9/11? So you can't milk a cow for 15 years, and that one got a lot of like cringes and like But I was like, what? like comedy comes from tragedy. Comedy comes from pain. Like,
I don't know if Bill Cosby came out with this fucking stand up he did in the 80s, you know, "Dad is great, give us the chocolate cake," except he was talking about all the fucking roofies he put in the fucking drink. I think it'd be fucking hilarious. You know, "Get out of the rain, but Dad, I'm Jesus Christ." That would be off the hook. I have no limits when it comes to comedy.
Oh, yeah,
I don't give a goddamn shit. As long as you're not stupid, as long as the comedy is just not droning on and on, I have no problems with the jokes are. You know what? They're just jokes. Water off a duck's back. If you take personal interest in anything and take, you know, stock in anything that's said and hold it to grave regard, then that's on you. You got problems. You know, if you don't like it, change the channel, God damn it. Move on with your life. It's a joke. It's fun. So there's no limits on my end.
I mean, I think that if you put limits on comedy, they're going to add more and more limits as time goes on. What was the name of that one guy that was on Seinfeld and he said the N-word on stage?
Michael.
Yeah,
Richards.
Michael Richards.
Yeah.
I think that was where they did too much. Like, he got heckled by the crowd members, but if he's trying new material out, you gotta let him see where he's going with it. You know, they didn't even give him a chance to see where he was trying to go with it. So I like I said, I don't have any limits unless it's some weirdo shit and you're talking about pedophilia or something like that. But even then, I've seen comedians talk about that stuff. And it's not as bad as you would think it would be. Like Eddie Griffin one time was talking about Michael Jackson and Emmanuel Lewis. And he said he forgot that Emmanuel Lewis wasn't some little 10-year-old kid. He was like a 24-year-old man sitting on his lap. that's funny. You know what I mean? You can't sit here and say it's not funny. It's funny and it's about pedophilia, but it's the way he kind of was able to deliver it to the audience where it didn't offend anybody. I think that was his genius. Because, a lot of that comedy has, there is some geniuses on stage and you got to let that genius show. And some people will try to pull that off and they just can't pull it off like some professionals.
Yeah, you look at some of that shit that was said back in the day. Hell, I was watching Living Color, episode 1, season 1. And, Keenan Ivory Wayans is playing Mike Tyson. Guess what? He's in blackface. He actually wore black paint on his face to make himself look a little bit lighter, to look more like Mike Tyson at the time. Maybe darker, I don't know. But, anybody else try to do blackface and, oh, God, it's a whirlwind of problems. Oh, you're going to be canceled. Nobody loves you. Get the fuck off your high horse.
The white chicks, they put on the white face and nobody said anything. I'm like, it's like, it's this double standard kind of.
Exactly. Right? It's funny, though. It's funny. Let it be funny. Don't fucking knock somebody's fucking livelihood just because you, one person out of millions, took offense.
Yeah, no, and it's bad when like comedians, like famous comedians now, like making apologies for jokes or getting on that whole, I shouldn't have said that or I shouldn't have done that. It's like, no, come on, don't do that. Like that's.
Well, we talked about Michael Richards again, right? So he was an executive producer for Jeopardy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
So he and Mayim Balak, they were both, going to do the guest hosting, Mm-hmm. And then out came, information that he was on a podcast and he was talking about a lady's, as he quote says, tits. And the joke was, she was happy, she was laughing, she was part of it. They scheduled it together, worked it out together. It was not an offensive thing. It was a joke. And so that was brought out, and then he fired himself. So now he's not the executive producer hosting with another host. So he fired himself, and then later it comes out that he cannot even stand that he said it at any shape or form, so he fires himself from executive producer.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is this world coming to?
There's that cancel culture. Everybody's getting canceled.
Yep.
For the littlest thing. Things that happened 10, 20 years ago, they're getting canceled for it.
Well, guess what? I'm not apologizing for shit.
I'm not either unless they want to send me to jail. Think about it. I might have an apology or two.
Well, they ain't going to throw you in jail. I got your back. I'll come out here. I'll hide your ass.
Yeah, no, that'll be a sad day when they start locking people up for jokes. That's I think that's about the time when it's officially for the world to hang it up.
Yeah.
I mean, freedom of speech should be absolute, I think.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what it is. It's absolute. Yeah. Freedom of speech. You have the right to say whatever you fucking feel. You have the right to have any ramifications for what you say, held against you. That's your fault.
Right.
But you know what? I mean, you still should have the freedom to say what you want.
Yeah.
Right? If two fucking horny teenagers can be like fucking making out and like banging, in the middle of fucking public in the mall or some shit, I should be able to tell a fucking racist joke. I should be able to tell a fucking sex joke. I should be able to tell a fucking 9/11 joke and not like have people fucking like trip or be like, oh, well, fucking that was too far. But like fucking, they don't fucking crack down on shit like over fucking like an overabundance of PDA.
Wait a minute, why are you putting handcuffs on me? I'm just beating off. They're the ones fucking in public.
Right? It's gonna get to the point where you can't even do that anymore.
Yeah. It's like if they could fuck in public, I could beat my meat.
I mean, when I was in the Air Force, they had strict rules on PDA.
Right.
You couldn't hold hands, you couldn't kiss. Nowadays, I don't see it as much. Like, I guess I don't pay attention to PDA as much. Like the only thing that would gross me out is if I saw two dudes kissing or something like that. Like, two guys with beards like just going at it.
They're called bears.
That's the only thing that would kind of gross me out. Other than that, I don't pay attention.
But see, that's a personal preference, right? I mean, it grosses you out, but to other people, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I mean, that's why I try to avoid it. Try to look the other way. If I see two people kissing or whatever, male, female, male, male, female, female, I'm just like, hey, as long as they're not butt naked, like going at it with kids around.
You say that because the two females kissing are not so lipstick. you want that to happen, and then you're just whipping your dick out, going, "Oh yeah!"
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I do discriminate. I do like when
Nothing wrong
girls
with
are
that.
kissing. Yeah, I can watch that, or at least peek. You know, see, okay, well, that's not that bad. But if I see two guys doing it, it's just
What the hell are you blinking your eyes for? My spank bing.
That reminded me of that fucking joke I used to tell back in the day. I'm not homophobic. I love lesbians.
yeah. That holds true to some point.
Yeah. I'm a lesbian trapped in a man's body. I mean, don't judge me.
Yeah.
And then he even did it on South Park too. He's like, I'm a bigger lesbian than you. No, you're a fatter lesbian than me.
Mom, how do I become a lesbian? Oh, well, dear, you have to munch a carpet. Huh?
Oh yeah, they all come in. What the fuck are you doing?
My mama says if I want to become a lesbian, I gotta learn how to munch a box.
Yeah, man, I seen some crazy shit. Like I fucking growing up in the fucking where I grew up in the hood, it was like people like cared less about fucking passersby. Like you'd like a bunch of times because people didn't have air conditioning. You pass by, see them fucking in the window, or like fucking not even closing the curtains, or like people that were like fucking in the car in the middle of the day. And I remember like going to like fucking, I was walking to the store and there was like this fucking couple that was like just standing outside by the payphone, kind of like kissing a little bit. I'm like, whatever. By the time I got all my shit and came out, like that dude was fucking knuckle deep in her vag and like fucking going for it, like right there in front of the store, like fucking not trying to fucking be covered or anything, just fucking right all up in it. And I'm like, wow.
Drinking your Slurpee, got your nose pressed against the glass, going, oh yeah.
Well, I was walking to my house like about a couple months ago, and I live like on Century Boulevard in Inglewood. And it's like a strip of just hotels. And this guy was getting some head in the garage.
He wasn't getting head. He was getting mouth hugs.
Mouth hugs. He was getting some hugging going on right there. And I was walking by, and I mean, I had to ignore it. You know what I mean? I didn't want to make a scene, but I didn't want the guy to show me his dick either. So I was like, let me just walk by. Hopefully he's entertained. He's not paying attention to me. Let me just get out of here. But that's a little too much too. I think that is.
I don't know what's wrong with you guys. If I be walking down the street and I see somebody getting mouth hugs, I'd be walking straight up to them, look them straight in their eyes, drop a $1 bill down like they're fucking doing a talent contest right out there on the corner. No. Here's your $1. Go ahead and keep going. I want to see this entertainment.
Yeah, it was entertaining, I guess.
That reminds me of fucking one time fucking Mix It. He's at the movies, right? And like he's with a group of his friends and like their dates or whatever. And I guess he fucking looks over and there was this fucking chick going down on the fucking dude that she was there with.
Nice.
And he said that her head was like coming way up, and then fucking his drunk ass yells, "There's no way his dick is that big!" And then across the fucking thing as her fucking head's going back up. And then he said all of a sudden they both got up and left.
It probably was that big. Wait a minute. How skinny was he? Because the skinny guys usually have the long ones.
I don't know. I wasn't there. I heard it secondhand from somebody that wasn't super drunk.
Tight.
Well, what about you, Big-O? What's some like the fucking craziest shit out that like PDA wise that even it made you be like, get a fucking room?
Let me think. Nothing. I mean, I've seen knuckle deep. I've seen, push from behind like they're push starting a car. I'm okay with it. Hey, man, whatever the case may be, if you're going to do what you're going to do, don't get mad at me for whipping mine out and, have a little fun myself, Don't stare at me. Don't give me those eyes. Don't look at me like that. Don't break eye contact either, because then it gets weird. I looked in the deep souls of her eyes, and I said,
Oh man.
Oh no, yeah, man. I don't think it's gone too far. I don't give a fuck. If you're gonna do what you're gonna do, hey man, it's a free world. Like I said, I'll say it a million times. We're only on this earth once. You go around, we spin around, then we're gone. So you know what? If you want to be a fucking lemur going, I'd like to move it. Well, then fucking move the shit out of it and do what you got to do to get your freak on. But don't get mad at me for breaking out some fucking buttered popcorn and getting my own.
Well, a lot of libertarians in politics, they have this no harm clause where they say, well, if they're not hurting anybody, then you should be allowed to do it.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. That's why marijuana is becoming legal, is because they're saying, well, it's not hurting anybody, then it shouldn't be illegal. It's a free country. We should be able to do whatever we want to do. So I definitely understand that. I just, in that situation where the guy was getting oral sex or whatever.
Mouth hugs.
Yeah, mouth hugs. If it was just me, okay, you're an adult, she's an adult, I'm an adult, I know what you're doing, I'm just going to keep going by. But if there was a kid there, then if it was my kid,
exactly.
It'd have to be my kid. If it was somebody else's kid, I don't know, that kid might be on Pornhub all day long. I don't know what this kid
might
does.
be.
Probably.
But at this time and age, most kids probably do have a lot more interaction with sex than I did when I was a kid. But
yeah, they have subscriptions. Hey, son, I want to talk to you. Yeah, you can use my subscription, Daddy.
Probably. Yeah. I would believe it. All you got to do is say, yeah, I was born in 78.
The more you know, kids.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
That's one of the things that depresses me about signing up for those sites is because I had to do so much fucking scrolling to get to the year I was born. I'm like, by the time I get there, it kills the mood. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to bed.
Yeah, you know how old I am? I'm old enough to fucking see the scrambled Playboy channel. Oh, that's a nipple. Oh, I'm going to finish. Oh, I think I saw some beaver. Oh, okay. I can turn it off.
That's enough. I can work with that.
Remember they had the covers in front of the magazine?
Yeah.
You couldn't even look at the magazine cover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get mad, start slapping your hand if you're going over there and like pulling the shit back. Oh man! So what else? What do you got coming up in the next couple of months? Any? I know that COVID's going on and like killing a bunch of things, but
yeah, I had a couple offers for a gig in Long Beach. There was a gig going on out there I was thinking about doing, but I decided to turn it down. It was a basketball gig in Long Beach, and they were offering to pay for a set. But right now, I don't have any gigs set up. I think I'm going to wait till I have some new music out before I get back on stage.
mm-hmm.
And that depends. I need to find something that's going to like capture people's attention, because there's so much out there right now that it's hard to really capture people's attention. Like 20 years ago, you could just say something and people were like, oh my God. Now there's not much you can say that's going to really capture people's attention like that. So I have to find a way to connect with an audience before I get back on stage.
Do you think you'll run any of the old stuff, like some warm up shows, and like before you go back on a tour with the newer stuff?
Oh, definitely. I want to use the old stuff, especially the stuff that we did together too. I want to use all that stuff to kind of to give myself an idea of where I've come from before I start writing something new to see where I'm trying to take it. Because I wanted to connect in some way. Like my first album, Return of the Beast, I did some little stand-up skits. And then on the Prince of the Universe album, I did some skits about the skits. It was to connect the albums together so that there was still some type of semblance of it's the same artist. So I want to do that with the next album, but I have to start with the singles. So that's going to be a challenge. But I hope to have those singles out, like I said, by spring 2022. At least 2 singles.
Well, if it's anything that we have, it's ideas, and we'll help you out any way we can.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, damn. Well, hey, man, it's good to have you back in the studio. It was a hot minute. I'm glad you're gonna stick around for the Rice and Beans radio show. And we're gonna get that going. Again, you guys, this is gonna be up on YouTube. We're switching the streaming platform from Facebook to the YouTube channel. So go ahead and check us out there.
Yep.
And those videos will go ahead and stay up. And so even if you're catching this show a while later, it'll still be up there for you to check out and listen to. And we're going to be doing these more and more throughout the course of this season and next season. So who knows? We're probably going to see MTV again soon. And we're definitely going to be having some more of his music going on. So we're glad you guys tuning in. This is the start of the weekend that Big-O and I are going to be in the same studio at the same time. We're going to have a shit ton of guests. The other cast members are going to rotate through, and it's going to be one fucking hell of a weekend, and it's going to be one great fucking season for you guys because now it gives us an extra chance to drop out all the shit that wasn't funny.
Balls tripping weekend.
All right, guys. Well, we are coming up on our time for this episode. So until next week, take a toke and watch all your worries go up in smoke. Peace.